Well, members of Parliament are preparing to debate tomorrow whether to adopt the Section 89 panel report on the Phala-Phala farm saga. Ahead of the National Assembly debate, the National Executive Committee of the governing party is meeting at Nasrec today to iron out the next steps for the president of the ANC, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. The president has been recused from this meeting. Our reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones joining me now in the studio. He's also been watching developments ahead of the parliamentary debate tomorrow. Good afternoon, Pule. Welcome to today. Thank you very much for your time. Well, the ATM is the party that started this whole process a few months ago by asking Parliament to look into whether or not there's an impeachable case against Ramaphosa. Now we are here, and the Speaker has decided there will be no secret ballot vote tomorrow, which the ATM had also asked for. What's their reaction? Yeah,
definitely. They feel as though they're quite disappointed about the move by the Speaker, but they're still going ahead with the fight. They believe that there's still some sort of accountability measures that have to be taken upon the parliamentary process and to make sure that there are answers. But at the very same time, we're getting a sense that the President will be, like you're saying, challenging this report, taking it on review. They haven't filed the papers yet, but they will be filing the papers before end of business day, from what we understand. But at the very same time, we are getting a sense that some legal analysts are saying that even though the report is to be challenged in court or before the apex court, Parliament can still continue with the process. Therefore, it will not be disturbed.
The two processes are different. Yeah. One is a judicial process, the other one is a legislative process.
Yeah. And it'll be important actually to see what happens after the report has been taken upon review by the President. But we're also waiting to see what the outcomes of the National Executive Committee will be this afternoon as they discuss about this report. We get a sense on the ground that there are some who are saying that the report should be opposed, should be rejected from the NEC, in support of the President as well. However, there are still others who are saying that the report cannot be challenged and that the President must resign. So you're getting twisted views from what's coming out of that meeting as well, Bratan. But let's just take a listen to what the ATM had to say in regards to their expression with disappointing with the whole declining of the secret ballot.
We are disappointed as the ATM that the Speaker did not take into account the reality that we are highly divided as a country. And this situation has, in fact, is so polarized to an extent that members of the very same party are protesting against one another. However, we are not married to the idea or that it's secret ballot or nothing. Tomorrow, we are going to go to that setting and we are going to push for the vote for that impeachment process to continue, because we want members of the public to know how members of Parliament are going to vote, against that probe. Because that probe, in fact, it's an inquiry. Tomorrow, we are voting for an inquiry to commence. We are not voting for the impeachment. Therefore, we want members of the public to actually see which MPs are against a further probe to get to the bottom of what happened at Phala-Phala.
I think that ATM view sort of clarifies the parliamentary process, because this is a new process, by the way, on the road to impeaching a sitting president. So what they'll be discussing and voting for, he clarifies that tomorrow, is whether or not Parliament should start an inquiry into whether or not there's a case to impeach the president.
It'll be important to see how everything happens and unfolds in Parliament tomorrow, the inquiry to commence as well, not particularly the impeachment. But they've been quite clear to say now that this report has various recommendations, they feel as though there is something that should be answered to as well.
Yeah. Do they feel that the decision by the President to take this panel's report on judicial review at the apex court affects them? Do they still feel that they have a case? There is a case here?
I mean, now that they're saying with an inquiry to commence, they feel as though it's not going to detract them or disturb them. I think you get a sense that there's this one goal they want to get to, Britain, despite the challenges that are coming ahead, they believe as though they will not be deterred by all of that as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all speculation at the moment, but we're going to have to wait and see, as you said earlier. We've got our colleagues Pamandla Koke at Nasrec. The NEC is behind closed doors meeting. The President had recused himself, so we all wait. But they'll also be planning what the ANC's caucus should do in Parliament tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely, because most of the members of the NEC are members of Parliament as well, who will be will oversee the parliamentary process happening tomorrow. So it will be important to see how the decision that they take from the NEC will have an impact on tomorrow's proceedings as well.
Thank you very much. Pule Letshwiti-Jones, of course, we continue tracking this developing story this afternoon here on eNCA.